You hear their scream cut off in the dark, and your first instinct wasn't to help, it was to calculate the cost of what they had. This is the dark reality of how Lethal Company completely removes empathy under pressure, turning your closest friends into something you're willing to sacrifice. The proximity chat in Lethal Company is nothing short of absolute genius and is a masterclass in psychological horror in a video game. It does something that's very subtle but incredibly powerful. It makes the presence of being with your friends this type of protection. When you're around voices you're familiar with, there's a comfort there.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna go. Let's go.
And make informed decisions between each other. But as their voice fades or they die by a monster, so does that same comfort. The moment the element of distance creeps in, the other player's voices slowly fade, and after being so focused on meeting quota and possibly venturing out on your own, you begin to ask questions about their whereabouts. Where are they? Should I go back? The silence breaks, and the tone shifts, because the next thing you hear is absolute chaos.
My mouse died.
Just seconds ago you heard them. You were exploring with them and focused on a mission to meet quota and sell all your items with everyone coming back alive. But the longer the silence sits with you on this mission, the clearer it becomes. I have to get out of here, and I need to do it now. And that realization fully changes how you think. Forget the scrap metal we need, I'm going back to the ship. This is where the use of auditory isolation takes over. By slowly removing voices in the darkness, the game gets rid of the ability to act and move forward as a group, and escaping becomes the only decision that makes sense.
Oh my god, he did it. He did it.
While on your mission with your teammates, the quota in Lethal Company slowly begins to grow, and the pressure to collect and sell items to survive becomes this immense and unavoidable task. This makes it the main driver for player behavior, creating almost a quote-unquote death spiral that prioritizes the company's profits over the survival of your own teammates. Once it becomes later in the day and you begin to run out of time, you could even be left behind by your crew, especially if what you collected was valuable, because a total crew wipe causes all collected scrap on the ship to completely vanish. Not only that, but if you're short on funds to meet quota, your own body can even be sold to the company to gain a small profit.
You sell your body.
This makes recovering the quote-unquote assets a main priority over rescuing your own friends. This relentless cycle changes the core of the co-op experience into a dark satire of corporate bureaucracy. As you keep getting a paycheck
work is invaluable to the company
and have the ability to buy more things to propel you forward, the great asset you're striving to become shifts from a teammate to a high-value item or a salvageable corpse. Lethal Company's genius lies in the fact that the game never forces you to make these decisions outright. It just builds the conditions where the only logical choice slowly becomes the coldest one. And before you even realize it, you're not playing to keep everyone alive. You're playing to make sure anything that would increase the quota makes it back to the ship. The funny thing is, after playing Lethal Company for a significant amount of time, you almost go numb to the screams and the disappearance of your friends, and not failing becomes your main objective. At the beginning, everything feels so intense. Every voice matters. Someone calls out, you listen to try to understand what happened to them. When something goes wrong, you react. There's still this shared understanding that you're all in it together, but over time, you start to feel different towards the game. The screams don't hit as hard, and the silence doesn't make you feel uneasy in the same way it did when you first started playing. Moments that once felt so urgent start to feel familiar, almost routine, and because of that, your reactions begin to soften. It's not that you stop valuing your team, it's the constant pressure, the repetition, and the unpredictability that has reshaped how you respond to them, almost putting yourself first and sacrificing the progress that was made with them, not because you don't care, but because you learned how quickly things can spiral out of control. You begin weighing what you have, where you are, and what could happen if you turn back. Even if you don't say it out loud, there's this quiet understanding forming in your mind that not every situation can be salvaged. So you move forward, leaving your team behind. It is absolutely remarkable that a game that is so simply designed with co-op doing the heavy lifting that it makes you feel the way that you do. There's a reason why Lethal Company even sold out Call of Duty. It makes you feel dreadful and anxious in the beginning and totally numb and only thinking about success by the end. And to be honest, that was the real betrayal all along.